Analyst Brian Sobel joins us now. Given what's happened in Tulsa and Charlotte, both candidates speaking out on police reform today. Donald Trump talking about the possibility, if elected, of using stop and frisk policing methods. Was he effective in doing that today?
Well, I don't think it moved the needle in the African-American community, and I don't know really why he would be talking about stop and frisk. To me, it's another one of these things where he may not have thought about the policy. It's what he knew from New York, long used there after 9/11, very controversial. Racial profiling was alleged in these cases of stop and frisk. So we don't know where that'll come out.
Donald Trump has been very pro-law enforcement, but what struck me today, listening to him talk about what happened in Tulsa, where the gentleman had his hands up and he was walking away from the police officer when he was shot and killed, he was saying that, in his opinion, the police officer who shot him, a woman, may have choked.
Yes.
It was very different from the kind of rhetoric that you usually hear from Donald Trump, and in contrast to that was Hillary Clinton, who seemed to be much more measured today in how she talked about what happened.
Absolutely, Frank. I was struck by that. Hillary Clinton said we need to know more about the facts, and so she was very measured in her response, and Donald Trump indicated that he had watched the video, the helicopter video, and it looked like, to quote you, to quote him, he had watched somebody who had choked. I thought it was an interesting contrast, but it was pretty quickly rejected by many in the African-American community as almost a pandering comment, and dismissed to some degree as him changing the rhetoric again. And it was just, it was kind of odd.
Hillary Clinton does better with the African-American vote, but she struggles with the younger African-American vote. If you were advising either one of these candidates, especially Donald Trump, what would you tell him to do to reach out to African-Americans? It probably wouldn't be his stop and frisk consideration.
Julia, wouldn't be. I think it's communication. It's always about communication. I think he would have to do a better job of not just showing up and doing rallies and things like that. He has to get into the communities and actually talk to people. I think that's always best in every walk of life. And frankly, Hillary Clinton has to do the same thing. It's not so easy to just give a speech and then expect people think that you think a certain way. You got to be out there talking to people.
Their first debate is coming up next Monday.
Oh, yes.
Millions and millions of people will be watching that debate. It's a crucial debate. What is it that Hillary Clinton has to accomplish, and what is it that Donald Trump has to accomplish?
Well, they both have to bring their A game. This is going to be a ratings blockbuster. You know, the Monday Night Football, it's Atlanta, New Orleans. Don't think it's going to measure up to this. It's going to be a big deal. Hillary Clinton has to really speak to her trustworthiness and her ability to communicate policy and that sort of thing. Donald Trump has to take a more measured approach. He's going to have to be careful about just shooting off the cuff.
But isn't that what got him here?
Yes, yes, absolutely. So he's got to.
It's gotten him into trouble.
Well, so it's going to be interesting. The Clinton campaign, of course, is preparing for any Donald Trump. The aggressive Donald Trump, the laid-back Donald Trump, and they should, because I think anything can happen in that debate. But Frank, you're right. Donald Trump has benefited over and over again by just saying what he thinks. But now it's one-on-one, and that's going to be a whole new proposition.
And it all happens next Monday.
Next Monday, it's going to be huge.
All right.
Brian, thank you.
Absolutely.